CAT aspirants, welcome to Supergrads, and I am your English mentor, Sana ma'am. And I welcome you to this amazing and riveting series on Word Power Made Easy. Yes, so we have taken up this amazing book, which is extremely popular, and I'm sure you must be wondering why. Is this just a hype? Not really. All right, so why is this book so popular? The reason is its innovative approach. The first and the foremost thing is that this book doesn't just tell you about the meaning of different words. In fact, it also shares the etymology of the words. So it tells you about the numerous root words. Hence, this is one of the most dependable books which has a very nice compendium of root words. Apart from that, this is also based on themes. So this comes up with so many thematic words, right? For example, today we will be taking up how to talk about doctors. So this is a theme, right? And then it will be sharing with us so many words and even their origin or etymology. So this is what makes this book so gripping. And apart from that, yes, the most beneficial feature of this particular book is the drills. Yes, it provides you amazing reinforcement with repetition, with various different types of practice questions that are given at the end of every session. You will not forget these words easily. So I'm sure something is brewing up in your minds. When this book is so good, why are we stepping into the picture, right? हमारी क्या जरूरत है? तुम खुद ही किताब पढ़ लो, right? Okay. So what we've observed is so many of our students have had this, right? See, you've got to understand that we find a wide spectrum of students, and not everybody is proficient in vocabulary. There are some students who are averse to learning new words, who don't have a good language base. So, with such students, this was a big problem. They couldn't continue with the sessions. They probably just read a few sessions and then they felt there were some parts that they found were complicated. There were some parts which they felt were a little boring also. So, hence, we came up with this thing to ensure that all our students of whatever capacity who want to learn English and want to develop their vocabulary should benefit from this series. This is a kind of a friendly nudge that we are providing to you. And we will ensure that this, what I am going to take up, is going to be a simplified version of what you would find in the book, right? So what I am doing here is that, yes, I am covering session 4 and 5, but in session 5, it's like, it's a part of session 5. In my next YouTube session, I'll be taking up a part of session 5 along with session 6. So in 2 sessions, we will be covering 3 sessions of the book, right? तो मेरे 2 YouTube के session में मैं 3 sessions cover करूंगी, and I will make sure that this is a very easy to understand discussion that I'm going to take up. All right. So चलिए, without much ado, let's dive in. So what is coming up? Of course, we will be discussing about the different medical specialists, the jargons associated with it, right? And not just this, of course, the related root words. They will also be taught, and we will have plenty of exercises to ensure that you remember these things. Now, a question is, medical practitioners, is it really pertinent for CAT aspirants? The answer is yes. Because in CAT, you do get passages on science, on anything, any random thing can come your way. And most importantly, even in our daily conversations, right? If you want to say skin specialist, why not say I want to see a dermatologist, right? Maybe that you want to refer to an obstetrician, but you are simply calling it a gynecologist. So you need to know the nuances. That way, you will have the true command over the language. Okay, so let's begin. The first one, gynecologist, as we were just discussing. Of course, we all know that, right? This is a doctor, a specialist who treats female reproductive and sexual organs. So all the ailments related to women, right? As far as their reproductive organs are concerned, that is taken care of by the gynecologist. And let me tell you the etymology. It comes from the root gyne, which means women, and logist actually comes from the root logos, which means study or science. So this is the study of women, okay, in this particular aspect. Next is obstetrician. Yes, most of the gynecologists do act like obstetrician, but let me tell you, this is a specific study. I would say obstetrician is a specialized subset of gynecologists. Okay, these are the people who take care of delivery of babies, and they even take care of the mother and the baby post delivery, especially the mother, right? So, obstetrician actually is a recent development, I would say. A few decades back, or probably say 70 to 80 years back, we did not have such advanced science. And of course, back then, centuries back, of course, there were midwives. So midwives used to take care of this, जिसको हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं दाई. तो जो दाइयाँ होती थी वो चाइल्ड बर्थ और डिलीवरी करवाती थी. But then of course now science has advanced so much, and we understand that it's the best thing that is for the delivery of babies is definitely a doctor, an experienced doctor. Yeah. So obstetrician delivers babies. Pediatrician, yes, of course, they take care of ailments of children, whether it be the newborn babies or infants or children, right? All their ailments are cured by pediatrician. So this is a specialty. Dermatologist, I'm sure you know about dermatologist. Derma means skin. And of course, logist we've already studied. Okay, so they cure skin diseases. Ophthalmologist is actually an eye specialist. So all your ailments related to eye are taken care of by an ophthalmologist. And this is where I would also like to tell you about optometrist. The field is optometrics, the practitioner is optometrist. And what does this mean? Metrics means measurement. So this is a person who actually measures your vision. वो जो भाई साहब आपके जो अंकल जो चश्मे बनाते हैं ना आपके मेजर करते हैं आपका विजन that basically. So an optometrist is not going to prescribe you medicines. They are not doctors per se, but they specialize in lenses, so they'll make just the right lens for you. Okay, fine. Orthopedist. There's even a painkiller kind of an oil that comes, Mr. Ortho. Okay, so ortho refers to bones. Yes? It deals with bone related issues. So, any ailment related to maybe your, as we say, the spinal cord, or maybe the fracture of your bones. Fine. Overall, your bone health, fine, will be taken care of by orthopedist. Cardiologist, we all know cardio is heart. So, cardiologist is a specialist who treats disorders of the heart and the circulatory system. Yes, who is a neurologist? Neurologist comes from the root neuron, and we all know about neurons, studied enough, okay? So, he's the person who will deal with all the disorders related to the nervous system, spinal cord, and brain. So you've got to understand that your brain also works when neurons are fired inside your brain. Okay, so your brain is like a circuit which is, of course, charged through neurons. So if the neurons don't work properly, there are going to be problems in your perception and in your cognition, right? So everything related to your nervous system, right, your psychomotor abilities, everything would be taken care of by the neurologist. Interesting and challenging field it is. Psychiatrist, please understand that yes, while some of the functions of a neurologist and psychiatrist might overlap, but they are actually different disciplines. Okay, so what is psychiatry? Of course, comes from the root psych, which means mind. Yeah, so they cure all the mental ailments, all the psychotic issues and illnesses that are there in patients. And of course, through drugs or a variety of techniques. Those of you who are wondering what is ECT, electroconvulsive therapy, is given in extreme cases where people are almost bordering insanity. And this is like, they are given a kind of a current treatment to their brain. थोड़ा सा electric shock दिया जाता है उनको to charge the neurons in their brain. This sounds scary, but yes, this is given in extreme situations. And so we have to check your understanding. इतने quickly मैंने आपको इतने सारे practitioners के बारे में बताया. Do you remember? Let's have this exercise. Okay, I will stand aside. You have to pause the video and solve this with me. Come on, pause the video, solve this yourself. Of course, I will tell you the answers, but then I want you to do it yourself. Done, finished, great. Let's do it. Is a gynecologist familiar with the female reproductive organs? Familiar? Absolutely. The answer is yes. Okay? All right. I hope आपसे बना. Okay. Coming to the next one. Does an obstetrician specialize in diseases of childhood? Come on, so you don't have to be confused between an obstetrician and a pediatrician. Okay, there's a difference. Obstetrician is involved in childbirth. Okay, and not he's not a specialist of diseases of children. Okay, that is a pediatrician. Hope you remember the difference. So second has to be no. Does a pediatrician deliver babies? Yeah, no, of course, that's what an obstetrician does. Okay, so again, it's a no. If you had a skin disease, would you visit a dermatologist? Of course, you will have to, right? Skin is so important, right? So it's so nice to have a healthy and beautiful glowing skin. Of course, the answer is yes. If you had a trouble with your vision, would you visit an orthopedist? No, absolutely not. That's an ophthalmologist, right? So again, no. Is an ophthalmologist an eye specialist? Absolutely. Does a cardiologist treat bone fractures? Definitely not. Is a neurologist a nerve specialist? Yes, of course. If you were nervous, fearful, anxious for no reason, would a psychiatrist be the specialist to see? Definitely. क्यों भाई? इसलिए क्योंकि if this is unwarranted fear and anxiety all the time, then there is something that is wrong with you, and so you've got to see the psychiatrist. Of course, because he treats all the mental ailments. Yes, so the answer is yes. I hope you got all of them right. Yes. So chaliye, that's not all. We will now move to another episode of this session, which is very interesting and beneficial. Let's try to understand some nice root words. So, coming to the first one, derma. Derma means skin, as we already know about dermatology, which is the study of skin. Logy, as I've already told you. So, dermatology is the study of skin, and dermatologist is going to be the practitioner. Now, look at these suffixes like shin and is. They're practitioners of something. Okay, anything. Could be a study, could be a profession. Okay. Coming to the next word, epidermis. Now here, there are two roots. One is epi. Epi means over or upon. And dermis is skin. So epidermis is the outermost layer of your skin. जो आपकी जो skin है, right? ये जो आपको दिखती है, our skin has multiple layers. So the outermost layer is epidermis, and hence it's very sensitive. Hypodermic. Hypo means, what does hypo mean? It means under. So hypodermic means under the skin. So you can have hypodermic injections, right? That means injections which are given under the skin, right? Okay, taxidermy is very interesting. All right, so I think you might have been to some farmhouses or some exotic destinations or some royal palaces anywhere, or maybe in some movies you must have seen that, those stuffed skins, right? Animal skins are actually stuffed and mounted on walls, or maybe they're kept like that on the floor. This is called taxidermy, right? So you might have seen some animal heads which are stuffed. The skin is stuffed and it gives an impression of a real live animal. That entire thing is called taxidermy. ठीक है, तो you might see a tiger and you may get a feeling that अरे बाप रे, तो ये actually it's alive, but actually उसकी skin को stuff कर देते हैं, तो it looks like it's a real animal. Okay, that is taxidermy. Dermatitis is inflammation of the skin when your skin has swelling or redness or some kind of turgidity. All right, that is dermatitis. Inflammation of the skin, it may have itching and swelling. Pachyderm, another interesting word. Pachyderms are actually animals which have unusually thick skin, like elephants, rhinoceros, hippopotamus, right? So many of them. They have a very thick skin, even buffaloes, right? Okay. So I'm sure you have understood these words. If there's any confusion, you can definitely send a comment to us. I would like to, and I will try my best to revert to it ASAP. And finally, the last segment of this roots, and then we will have a wonderful exercise. So we of course discussed about pediatrician, right? Pediatrics is the field, right? Of course, the medicine, the specialty of medicine where children are cured. Their diseases are, of course, cured. So it comes from the root pedos, and pedos means a child. All right. Now, very interestingly, there is another word that comes from the same root pedos, okay, and that is pedagogy. So pedagogy comes with pedos, which means child, and another root agogos, which means leading. So pedagogy actually means to lead a child, but how do you lead a child? By guiding them, by teaching them, by ensuring that they have an overall personality, a well developed and honed and chiseled personality, right? That they grow properly. That's how you take care of a child, you lead a child. So essentially, pedagogy actually means how you teach the child. So it refers to teaching methodology. This might not immediately click you, but that is what this means, teaching methodology. Okay, all right. Now, coming to this, we're done with this. Now, talking about another word, pedagogue. It definitely has a lot to do with pedagogy. So, pedagogue essentially would be a teacher, right? But this, unfortunately, is nowadays being used in a slightly negative context. How? It means that those people who are, following those very boring and traditional style of teaching, and they are rarely inventive and innovative. They're not creative teachers, and they stick to the rules. So such teachers are called pedagogues. And there is yet another word, demagogue, which of course comes from two roots. One is dem or demos, which means people. है ना? Demography, democracy. You have all those words with dem, this means people. And another word is agogos, which means to lead. So essentially, a demagogue is actually somebody who's a leader of the masses. But then again, this also has a negative context. He is not a very positive leader. He is a leader who actually galvanizes the masses negatively, who incites the masses. He is a political agitator. Okay, so he actually incites and provokes the masses negatively. Fine, so such leader is a demagogue. All right, he agitates. Clear hair. All right, so we have learned these many roots, and class, it's time to test your understanding. So there's a very interesting exercise coming your way. Are you ready? Wonderful. Chali, let's do this. Come on, quick. Class, I request you to pause the video, solve it. Yeah, I hope you're doing it. Okay, so let's do it together. I'm here to help you out in case you got stuck somewhere. All right. Gynecology, we know it's a study of women ailments, of course, of their reproductive organs. Yes, where is this given? Let's see, not able to find it yet. Yeah. Oh, sometimes things right in front of you, you're not able to see them, right? Obstetrics, related to delivery of babies. Yes. Where is that? Yes. C. Pediatrics, curing the diseases of children. Yeah. H. Pedagogy, principles of teaching. A, right there on the top. Demagoguery, being a demagogue. Okay, that's a political agitator. Stirring up discontent among masses. D. Dermatology, study of the skin. Treatment of skin diseases, actually, to be precise. M. Taxidermy, stuffing of skin of animals. Yes, where is that? Stuffing of skin of animals. B. Hypodermic means under the skin, right? Where's that? Under the skin is L. Epidermis is the outermost skin, outer layer of skin, that's I. Pachyderm is an animal with a very thick skinned animal. K. Dermatitis is inflammation of the skin. Where's that? Yes, F. Ophthalmologist, eye doctor. E. Optometrist who measures vision. Yes, it's J. And that's all. Wasn't this fun? Wasn't this a fun packed, but at the same time, extremely informative session? I think it was. And class, thank you so much for watching us. I hope that you will be there with me in my next session as well. Okay, and show us some love. If you really like the session, you can send some wonderful comments and like, share, and subscribe. तो बनता ही बनता है. ठीक है ना? So that's all. I'll catch you again. Bye. Take care.